Hey, how's it going? It's Martin. Today I want to talk about the effective use of color in headshots. Um, you need to think in the past, all headshots and all photography was done black and white. Headshots, especially till just, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, they started shooting more, a little bit more in color. Now it's pretty much all color, and I highly recommend shooting your headshot in color. Color is really important because it gives different feelings to images, and you need to be aware of what those feelings are in order to be able to convey a emotion from your headshot even more effectively. So I want to talk about first the warmth of the image. Okay, there's 4 different tints on a color scale. Okay, I want you to think there's red, green, blue, and yellow. And if we think about it, think of color, the color scale, as being a 3-dimensional scale. Okay, so you have a box. There's an x coordinate going this way. There's a y coordinate going this way, and then there's a z coordinate going this way. All right. Think about the y coordinate as being brightness. Okay, this is how bright the overall image is. The brighter an image is, meaning the more light tone areas there are, you could have an image that's like, let's see how my face is dark on this side and then light on this side. So you could have an image where, let's say most of the image was dark except there was one bright, very bright area. That, what we're talking about in terms of brightness, is how many bright areas there are altogether, not how bright that specific area is. Okay, so if you have an image that's in general all brighter areas, a bright background, bright skin lighting, all of that, that image would be said to be more open and friendly and happy. Whereas if you have an image that's darker on the X scale down here, then that image is said to be more intense and dark, right? Now, the X coordinate, we can say, let's just say for now that's the green and red. All right, you have greens and reds this way. So the tint of the image can be more reddish, or there could be more red tones in the image, or the tint of the image could be more greenish, or there could be more green tones in the image. The red and green of the image, in general, will show essentially how intense the image is. Or how energetic the image is, I should say. Okay, so as the image goes more towards using green tones, you're getting more laid back and relaxed and a little bit happier, and whereas if you start using more red tones, the image gets more like intense and excitement and energy. Okay, so you can go either way. Or you can have an equal amount of green and an equal amount of red, and it'll even itself out. Okay? So your happiness level, okay, brightness, approachability, happiness is up here. Darkness and intensity is here. Green, again, more laid back and relaxed, or more energetic. Now the last scale is warmth, okay? That is blues and yellows. So as you go more towards the yellow or warmer side, you're becoming more friendly and approachable, similar almost to the brightness versus darkness side. Okay? Think of brightness and darkness as happy versus like intense or dark and mysterious and everything. Warmth can show approachability and openness, versus more blue tones in an image, which shows a little bit more sadness. Okay, so like friendly and happy versus sad and mysterious and everything. So if you think about this color scale, again, the more yellows that there are and the more reds, this is going to come off as a energetic but also friendly. And if it's very bright, the color tones, energetic, friendly, and happy. Versus you could do the same thing. You could use yellows and reds in the image and have that energetic and friendly feeling, but also have dark shadows. And then it's a little bit more mysterious, right? It's really cool the way that the scale works. You can also do let's say we want to take it the other way. We have a blue tone and we have green and we have bright, we'll say. Okay, so you're up here. So you have the blue tone, which denotes a little bit more sad. Okay, so it's a little bit of sadness, but there's the bright colors, which makes it a little bit happier. Now that seems to cancel itself out, but not 100%, because there's a difference between feeling like, bright and airy, with the blue tone almost kind of conveying in that sense a memory or some like past, like nostalgia type of feeling. So it's not necessarily that the memory is so sad and distant. It's just like the fact that it's in the past is sad, So you got this, and then the greens, which kind of gives off that, again, that sense of like relaxed. So here, a brighter tone, blue tone, and greens is going to be kind of like an image that's a little bit like, almost like in your mind, like you're soft and relaxed and everything. So with like those color tones, you wouldn't want to do a headshot that's like, hey, how's it going? Like a bright, friendly smile. You might just do something that's like almost like sad and wistful and kind of like thinking, like that sort of expression. All right. Same thing with like, let's say that the image is all like, let's say that you're wearing red, right, which denotes that energy, and then the image has a dark tone to it, so it's down here and it's down here in the red, right, and then it's got just a little bit of blue tone with it, okay, so you got this energetic, so you can go a little bit of a darker expression, but a little bit, just something subtle in the eyes that shows almost a little bit of sadness. There's a great example of a shot like that, although it doesn't use color to complement it, but the expression. There's this one photo of Donald Trump. I'm going to post it here. So take a look at this photo. What's cool about it is if you look at the expression, I know I was talking about the colors that denote this almost sadness, but intensity level. The colors and the lighting and everything in the shot, you kind of have that darkness and lighting, and then you have this expression that seems to be at first really intense and dark. But if you look at the left eye, which the left eye is connected to the right side of the brain. And the right side of the brain, if you know much about like creativity versus logical thinking, the right side of the brain is more connected to the creative side. The left side is more the logic. And the connections cross inside of the head. So your left eye is connected to the right side of the brain and your right eye is connected to the left side of the brain, which that essentially means that your right eye is going to be the eye that typically shows the emotion that you consciously want to portray. And your left eye is going to be the eye that shows the emotion that you might be feeling in the moment or overall in life. So if you look at this picture of Donald Trump, you can see that he's trying consciously to project intensity and strength. But when you look at the left eye that's connected to the unconscious, like creative or emotional side of the brain, you see almost a hint of sadness to it. And that kind of shows that there's something else going on with him, like he might be worried about something. And that is the exact expression that I'm talking about when I say, like, we're going for an image that's got red tones, just a hint of blue and darkness. Because you got the intensity from the red, the energy. You've got the, the dark lighting, and then you've got this like subtle blue part, and that would be seen in his expression, with the eye looking like that. So whenever you're considering doing headshots, you should always be thinking about the color scale and how you can use the different colors to really amp up the intensity of what emotion you're trying to portray in the shot. The whole image is a whole. It's, the image is a whole. It's basically you have all these different parts that go together, and you can either put them together effectively or you can put them together disparately so that they conflict with one another, which can create an even more interesting headshot. Or you can just not be conscious of them at all and not know what you're doing and just hope to get lucky. So I hope that this video is inspiring you to take a little bit more of a look into coloring. And whether you're a photographer yourself or you're someone looking to get headshots done, think about what emotion do I want to portray and how can I get the photographer, or if you're the photographer, how can I get the client to agree with my suggestion of colors to use in the image that will help me give off that vibe that I want, so that my overall headshot is all unified and really projects that image that I'm trying to show. All right. Hopefully this video is helpful. I'd love to hear your feedback and comments on what your thoughts are on the colors down below. If you don't agree with anything that I said here, feel free to leave it in a comment below. I love also hearing critique and thoughts from people. So definitely subscribe. We've got more videos coming out all the time. And as always, live with purpose.